So now that we have the text written in here, we can go ahead into element 3D color 01 in here. And from here, we have some different features. First of all, as we have seen before, we can go ahead in here and change the quality. And you can see how that would update right in here. Now, at the moment, it is a bit too bright, but we will see later on how we can customize the brightness as well. So I'm going to leave this to draft for now. Then what we can do is we can enter into scene setup. Just click on that and wait for it a bit until it opens up. And there we have it. And this panel would open up, and this is where most of the work would take place in here. And to customize this, in here what we have is basically a neon design group, which will hold this neon in here. And then we have a background group, which will hold the background. So in this case, we're first starting from the neon design group in here. And to customize this, what we are going to do is we're going to open this up and see what features we have inside of here. So first of all, you can see that we have the non-neon word. And if we take that on, you can see how that shows up in there. And just to illustrate what this non-neon word is, I'm going to press OK in here. And as you can see, it updated right over there. And that non-neon word is this thing in here. So whatever we type in here, I'm just going to type in word. Whatever we type in here would update in here. In here. So this would be any text that you want to show that you don't want to have in neon. This still have some light to it, as you can see, but it is not in the neon style. Of course, if you would like to customize the color of this, you can go ahead and choose block light in here. Then if we scroll down, we can see the diffuse color in here, which we can give it to whichever color you want. Just like that. And we can even select it from here and adjust the color from here. So let's press OK. And if we press OK in here again and remove this one, we can see how that would update right over there. Of course, it is a bit out of the camera right now, but you can see how that would work. And if we switch to preview, you can see that clearly. Let's select another camera, maybe camera 4. And that's how this thing works. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that neon word for now. So let's go to scene setup once again. And I'm going to hide this, since I'm not going to use that, and I'm going to switch to go directly to neon light in here. Now, inside neon light in here, what you have is you have a frame that you can tick on to show, and it will create this metal frame around your light. Then you have some different features in here. First, you have the thin neon glass in here. So if we untick these and tick this and this, you can see how that would work. Now this thin neon glass and thin neon core, you would use only with text that have very thin outlines. In this case, since it is a little bit more thick, I'm using the normal neon glass and neon core in here. Instead of neon core, you can use neon full, which, as you can see in here, it creates the neon with the glass. And the neon core would have the neon only in the core of the text. So I'm going to leave this as this is. And of course, when you type any text, you can go ahead in here and see which of these would work better. So if this would work better with certain text, you can go ahead and use that. But in this case, this would work pretty well with neon glass and neon core. So I'm going to leave this like this. So let's close that and jump into the next part, which is neon tube connections. And in here, we can find the main Neon modules. So in here you have the Neon tube connections, the wall connections, and the wires. So if we enter inside Neon tube connections, we can see that we have the Neon wedge connection, which is this one here, and we can move just by selecting it. Select the transform tool in here, and then just move wherever you like. And then you can rotate from here as well. So just select the rotate tool and rotate. And then I'm going to transform it a little bit more to make it in there. Now to move inside this panel, if you have never used this software, what you need to do is you need to scroll in or out to zoom in and out. You need to hold the scroll button down to move around, or else you can click the left button to rotate around the environment. So that's how you would move inside this environment. Now, of course, with any of these Neon modules, you can just click Ctrl D to duplicate them, and then you have a copy of that, which you can move wherever you like. For instance, I'm moving right over here, and then you can rotate and adjust the position just like that. And when moving these, I suggest to move them only in the Y and X axis by clicking this box in here so that they retain their Z position. So make sure that you don't move them like this, and that you only move them in either in the Y axis or in the X axis. Or you can move them in the Y and X axis at once, like this. So that's that. Now we can move to the next one here, which is the Neon connection screw. And that's this thing in here, and we can move that wherever we like. So let's place it in here. Then you have the Neon connection, which right now it's ticked off, but you can tick that on like this, and you can find it right over here. You can place it wherever you like as well. Then you have the Neon bracelets, which you can tick on like that. And these basically are used to hide certain parts of the neon. For example, you can place it right there to hide that part of the neon. It is just a metal frame, as you can see. And in here you have two other neon bracelets that are basically similar to the other one, but rotated into different positions, just like that. So the next part would be the wire tube connection, which if we tick on, we can see what is that. And this is a very nice connection that you can use to tie up two neons together. So let's see, maybe we can tie up these two. We can rotate it. And it is a very nice model that we can use in here. And now we can jump to the next one, which is the wall connections. And in here we have 4 different connections. We have the tick connection, which is right over here. You can place that wherever you like. Then you have the connection arm. Let's see where that is. So it's right over here. And that is similar to the other one, but with an arm rather than a whole circle. Of course, you can also scale these up or down however you want. So if you want that a little bit smaller, you can just scale it down like that. I'm going to go back to the transform. And then you have this one, connection tin screws. Let's show that. And let's scroll out to see where that is. And it's all over right here. Let's scroll in and let's place it where we want it. So just like that. And then we have the connection tin, which if we show it, it's right over here. And this is similar to the other one, but without the screws. So those are the main connections that we have. Now we can jump on to the wires. We have 4 different wires and 2 different wire connections in here. So wire 1 would be this wire in here. And let's see how that works. We can place that, for instance, in here. Then you have wire 2, which is right over here. And this one is similar to the other one, but without without this tip in here. And that could be used to tie up into this, for instance. So let's align it properly in here, just like that. And you can see how that would work. Then you have wire 3, which is this connection wire in here, which you can use to connect one part to the other. So we can rotate and then position it. Let's see, we can rotate it a little bit more. And we're almost there. We need to scale it a little bit up, just like that. Then rotate it a bit and take it down just a bit. So then we have wire 4, which if we take on, it's right over here. And this wire is basically just a straight wire. And once again, of course, you can scale these however you like. So for instance, if we want it shorter, we can scale it like that. And now we have a short wire. I won't use this for now, so I'm going to hide it. And then we can see what the wire to Neon connection is. And if we show that and scroll out, we can see that it's right over here. And this is a kind of cap that you can use with the Neon. So if we rotate this, you can use it with the Neon. Then you can tie in a wire from here, for instance. Then finally we have the wire connection, which is this little thing in here. And we can place this over a wire to tie up two different wires together, or just to give some detail in here. So let's align it with the wire. And that's basically it. So that is how you would use the Neon connections. Now, the next thing in this toolkit would be to customize the color, if you would like to customize the color, and also the background. So let's go ahead and see how to do that in the next videos.